Hey everybody, welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. In the last episode we defeated the first dungeon, yeah. And in this episode we're going to continue on to the second dungeon. Alright, but before we do, we're going to go into this cave right here because there's some secrets to do. And we have a man that looks strangely like Sahasrahla, but it is not Sahasrahla. Aha! It is the Book of Medora. With it, you can read the language of the Hylia people. So that is required to get into the second dungeon. You can see some more rubble down the southern wall here, so you want to bomb it. And another piece of heart. Very nice. This game loves me. Or at least half of it loves me, I guess, now that I have two pieces of heart. Oh my god, I can't tell you how awesome it is to have the Pegasus boots finally, man. But anyways, let's continue on. Now here in the desert, there's going to be a bunch of these sand monsters that are going to be popping out. As long as you keep running, they won't run into you, but they do a lot of, well actually, they do 1 heart's worth of damage. But I guess that is a sixth of your whole life if you've gotten everything up till now, so it is not a good idea. Now, if we try to press A on this pedestal here, which translates to open the way, to go forward, make your wish here, and it will be granted. I pray to thee! Move the rocks! Hooray! Alright, and here we go! Alright, so the Desert Palace, Dungeon 2, houses the Power Glove, which is going to help you lift up the rocks in the overworld so you can get past those obstacles. This dungeon isn't really too complicated. It's a big sandbox in the first floor. And as I mentioned in the video, you're going to just be going left and right repeatedly. And after that, the dungeon is very linear. There is a piece of heart. It's one of only 2 dungeons in the game that houses a piece of heart in the middle of it. And I will show you how to get that. But apart from that, very simple dungeon. Alright, we're going to go on to the Desert Palace here. We're going to be greeted by levers everywhere. Alright, now this dungeon is going to have a lot of left and right. So, honestly, this dungeon, I don't dislike it or anything, but it's just kind of okay to me. Because it's a very simple dungeon. In the other one, it was kind of simple too, but there was still some stuff going on. In this dungeon, it just goes to the left here to get this key. Alright, so you got the 1 key. And then the only accessible locked door in the dungeon is to the left, or sorry, to the right, so you have to go all the way to the right now. If you so wish, you could take a detour here to get the compass, to get the map in this area. And if I actually know that by memory, then I really need to go out more. Yay! I knew this by memory! Yeah, you get the map in this room. Go away, frickin' Armo statue things. Alright, now you want to avoid that room up there because that's just going to be a dead end with no treasure in it and a bunch of enemies, so do not go in there, and then the room will lock behind you until you defeat all the enemies, so you're forced to fight. But yeah, you want to go to this room, and this is where the compass is located. Again, hooray! For me knowing everything about this game and being an absolute freaking nerd. Alright, let's go here. And you want to dash here because you're going to avoid... Or not, I guess. Epic fail. Alright, now you got the big key. Now it's back to the left again. Yeah. This dungeon is a whole bunch of left and right. And, I mean, it might sound like I'm complaining. I'm really not. I don't really dislike any dungeon in this game, but I will say that this dungeon is pretty simple to a fault almost. Because like I said, the first dungeon was simple too, but there was still some stuff going on. But here it's just go to the left, now go to the right, now go to the left again. Alright, you want to press down that switch and that'll open both the doors here. Gonna avoid the BMOS here. These BMOS are indestructible and they'll shoot a laser that you cannot block with any sort of shield right now. And you get the power glove. It's so bad. And I mean bad. I actually ended up buying a power glove the other day, and it was one of my favorite purchases of last year. And it's the new year. And oh my god, what a great year it's been so far, because we got the reveal of the Switch 2, baby! And we also saw the Mario Kart game there. I'm not much of a big fan of Mario Kart. Yeah, shocker, I know. I'm like the biggest Mario fan to set foot on this planet, and yet I don't care for Mario Kart. Yeah, what a sin. I don't know, I just don't really like racing games in general, and I much prefer single-player games because nobody I know in my personal life likes to play video games, so it's kind of hard to get into multiplayer games when you can hardly play them. But yeah, I saw the Switch 2 reveal yesterday. At the time of this being recorded, okay, that was pretty funny. I just hit him and he just like stayed still and he just went off a cliff. Okay, there we have a puzzle very reminiscent of Zelda 1 where you just push the tile and then it opens the door. And here we have a new mechanic with the tiles flying around everywhere. Now, in this room, it looks like you have to wait for all the tiles to stop appearing, but I believe if you just uncover the pot, you could just get the key and run out of here. Later on in the game, though, those rooms will be mandatory for you to stand in and try to survive, but not here. But yeah, I saw the Switch 2 reveal, and I was gonna be honest, like when I saw the leaks, because there was a bunch of leaks, and I was just like, well, it just looks like the Switch, but bigger and better. But for some reason, whenever I saw the Switch 2 reveal trailer, it was kind of just more like, whoa, this is so cool. Because yeah, I mean, it is the Switch. It is basically just a bigger and better Switch, but oh shoot! No, I missed the red rupee. Oh, whatever. I have 654. It's like if Elon Musk got like a lawsuit, like, oh my god, no, I'm still rich. All right. We die, and then we're gonna light the torches. Standard Zelda puzzle that debuted in this game, actually, because this is the first game where you really have to light torches. But yeah, anyways, oh god, I keep getting distracted. But yeah, I really like the design of the Switch 2. I like how the Joy-Cons can be looked to be used as mice, and freaking, I don't know why, but the new Joy-Cons just look so much more comfortable than the old ones. And also, I like the new Mario Kart reveal. His face is round! It's like the old era. But anyways, enough about that. Here we have the second boss, Landmala. 3 of them, to be exact. They're going to be popping their face off of the ground. You do not want to be standing in the corners of them whenever they do that, because they shoot 4 rocks whenever they pop out. So you either want to be standing directly above them, below them, or to the left or right of them. And they're going to be flying around. This is when they're vulnerable. You're going to want to hit them whenever they're flying around in the air. Let's see. Don't get hit by the rocks. The rocks are kind of hard to see, and they do quite a bit of damage. So this boss can be quite a difficulty spec compared to the Armos Knights, or the Armos King Knights from the first dungeon. Alright, let's see. Best thing to do is hit them with the spin attack, because you have to wait for them to pop out of the ground anyway, so there's no reason to not charge your sword here. Alright. I believe the only part of their body that actually hurts you is the head. I don't think the body actually does any damage to you. Wow, I hit him before he went back to the ground. Okay, now when there's only one left, it's going to shoot 8 pellets at you now, both in the corners and now in the cardinal directions. So you really want to pay attention to where it's getting out of and try to position yourself so you don't get hit. And then start striking with your sword. This boss really isn't too difficult as long as you're paying attention to where they're coming out of. Alright, let's see here. Come on. Up, shoot. Of course I say that and I get hit immediately. Okay, hit him again. There we go, nice. And we got another heart container. You want the pendant of power. Your goal of finding 3 pendants is in sight. Go for the last one. And now we could go to the 3rd dungeon, but some side questing opportunities have been opened up to us now. So we're going to go ahead and start doing that. Let's see if I could stop getting hurt by the freaking cacti here. Alright, now let us continue on. Yeah, now the power glove. I didn't mention this when we got it in the dungeon, but these boulders everywhere, we could not pick up before we had the power glove. But now that we do, we can pick them up and get them out of our way. And there's a bunch of them blocking our path in many different areas. Here's nothing too important. I believe this guy just gives you hints if you buy them. Check out the cave east of Lake Hylia. Strange, wonderful things like that. Okay, no, he doesn't. There's some guys that look like him later on that will sell you hints if you buy them, but they become utterly useless in this day and age when you can just look at the internet. I mean, I guess that brings up a bit of an argument about how people think if you're looking up how to get through a part in a game, then you basically might as well not even play it. But honestly, some of these old games, you think they didn't have help? I mean, they had an entire hotline dedicated to kids needing help and calling to get the answers anyway. It's not like everything is just easier now with... Why? Okay. Trouble over my words there. Yes, everything is easier because of the internet, but back then, it's not like we didn't get any help in anything in these sort of things. Because there was still strategy guides, there was still... the Nintendo Hotline, which actually debuted with the first Legend of Zelda. It was the most popular game that would use the service. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, which a lot of you probably don't because you're actual normal functioning human members of society, the Nintendo Hotline was something more prevalent in the NES days rather than the Super Nintendo days. It was pretty much a number that you would call whenever you would get stuck in a video game, any NES game, and there would be a bunch of other people on the other side of the line, oftentimes playing the same game in the same area that you were in to try and help you through the area that you could not get past. Not like as in it's too difficult, I can't get past it, but more so I can't figure out what to do and how to get past it. You can earn a lot of rupees by defeating enemies. It's the secret of my success. And I'm just going to steal your success right in front of your eyes, and you can't do anything about it because I'm the hero. Okay, anyways. But yeah. So, yeah, the Nintendo Power Hotline was something that was really popular, and actually, it actually is kind of relevant that we're talking about it here because The Legend of Zelda on the NES was the first game that pioneered the service, and it was by far the game that used the service the most, especially with the Goria puzzle in Dungeon 7. But anyways, enough about that for now. We're going to come here and talk about something else. Alright, now here we have your standard fairy fountain. Let's actually catch one of these things. Okay, I said let's catch one of these things. Caught a fairy. It's kind of spelt weird. Oh, I don't have any empty bottles? Oh, I could have sworn I used one up, but I guess not. Alright then. Oh shoot, if we only have one empty bottle, damn it. Okay, well we're going to have to empty one out then because there's actually something very interesting in this room that I only just recently figured out. if we were to ram into this statue here, we get this interesting glowing bee. But unlike every other bee, you hover it over, this is called the good bee. This is the only way to get it in the entire game, and it's a very, very weird item. If you were to release it here, it goes around the entire screen, and as soon as it spots an enemy, it chases it down to try and destroy it. As you can see, it's destroying the flying man over there and destroying the crab. And once it's cleared the room out of enemies that it sees, it goes back to you so you can catch it again and put it back in its bottle. It's a very strange item. It's not really that useful because it's not like defeating enemies is too difficult. I guess if there's like an enemy on a ledge that you don't want to get too close to so it doesn't knock you off, it's pretty useful. I've never really personally used it, mostly because all the previous playthroughs have been done before I knew it was a thing. But it's a very interesting item. It doesn't work on bosses with one exception that I'll get into later in the game, and it's actually a really tough boss, so I can't wait to actually use it against that one. Ba-da-da-da! We got the ice rod. It's chill magic blasts the air, but watch your magic meter. And that might look like an optional item, but it is actually required for later on in the game, so you do want to collect it right now just so you don't forget about it for later on. And speaking of the good bee, as far as I know, it doesn't run out. It will always come back to you, and if you ever do lose it for whatever reason, you can come back to this area and get another one. It is a very, very strange item. I'm pretty excited to see what it has to offer because I've never personally used it, just accounting on the fact that I never knew it existed before now. I did not mean to do that. I just didn't want to get hit by the slime monsters there. Something kind of funny is that in this game, if you sprinkle on magic powder, they will turn into something else, and you can actually talk to them. Tra-la-la, look for Sahasrala. Now, not in this game, but in the next game in the series, Link's Awakening, the same mechanic exists where those same monsters are present in the game, and if you shoot the magic powder at them, it will turn into those enemies. But in the German version of Link's Awakening, they have a very different message. The message, verbatim, is never without a condom. I am not joking, that is actually in a Zelda game, yes. In a game rated, I guess it would still have been K to A whenever that game came out. Yeah, in a game rated K to A, there is a there is a joke for some reason. Nintendo. It's kind of like how the marketing for the Sega 32X back in the day, where it's like faster, 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 and then at the bottom it just says, "What did you think we were talking about, you degenerate?" It's one of the best marketing stunts Sega's ever done. It's one of the funnier things I've ever seen, video game related anyway. Alright, you want to talk to her to get some more health back. And we can pick up rocks! Hooray! And it is actually required to go this way. So, let's go ahead and head up here. We are cutting it kind of close on time. I don't really want to make these episodes longer than 20 minutes because not everyone has time to watch a 20-minute video, and not everyone and a 20-minute video that's starring me, not everyone will want to watch. So we're gonna have to continue this and try to get over this little area as soon as possible. These lighter areas of water you can actually walk on, but the darker areas you can't swim yet, so you're gonna have to avoid them for now. And then these enemies are the Zoras, or River Zora to be exact. Wahaha! What do you want, little man? Do you have something to ask of me? I want the flippers! I just don't give flippers away for free. I'll sell them for 500 rupees a pair. Alright, so now we got flippers. Now that means we can actually swim in the water. But, anyways, that's going to have to do it for this episode. Next time on The Legend of Zelda, I almost said this is Link's Awakening. A Link to the Past, blah. We're going to go ahead and continue on to the third dungeon. See you guys next time.